Before we get started, I have to mention that we all should have gotten prompted that this meeting is being recorded, so you have to go about and acknowledge it. Good evening, my fellow Toastmasters, guests, and I'm not sure if there are any dignitary guests today.
Yes, there's one.
There is. Awesome. So my name is Ray Melendez, and I will serve you tonight as Sergeant at Arms, along with another role. As we start our meeting, I asked everybody to do their best to avoid any distractions, including keeping yourself muted while others are speaking. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America,
and to
and to the republic for which it stands,
one
one
nation,
nation, under God,
indivisible.
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, let's get this meeting started. I'm going to pass this meeting over to our one and only chapter president, Shastri Stewart.
Thank you, Ray. Well done, sir. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Welcome to another beautiful Monday night. I'm always glad to see all the beautiful faces, all the smiles, and hopefully we'll have some laughter tonight. All right, so I see that we do have one guest, Latoya. Latoya, if you could introduce yourself, tell us how you heard about our club, and what are you looking to gain from tonight's meeting?
Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Thank you for having me. I had attended the club a while back. And then when the pandemic came, I received an invitation, again with the Zoom link. And so it always has not worked out for me to be able to join, but then I try to make it intentional today to attend, and hopefully I'll be able to continue coming to the meeting. My intention is to try to improve my my delivery of my public speaking, and I would want to come alongside, join, and learn more about the Toastmaster and how to improve my skill of speaking.
Thank you, Latoya. Thank you for being here and welcome. I see that we do have our dignitary, Jan Green. Hi, Jan. All right, and we have Marilyn Bieber. Is there something you'd like to say, Jan?
No, not at all.
Good, awesome. And Marilyn Bieber, welcome to our meeting.
Thank you for allowing me to be your guest this evening. I was long awaited since I missed your meeting last week because you were actually live in the park.
Yeah, and we were having a blast too, so we had a lot of fun.
Good to see so many faces here.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much. And I'll touch bases with our guests and dignitaries at the end of the meeting for some feedback. I see that we do have Tim Morrell. Welcome back, Tim. And also David. Welcome back, David.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, and we have two icebreakers tonight from our new members, Mayana and Julie. So hopefully you guys do a good job. All right, I'll move on to our mission statement. Okay. And which states it is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence. Now it's 7 o'clock. I'll pass the meeting to our Toastmaster of the evening, the one and only Ray Melendez.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shastri. Happy Monday to everybody. I wanted to start this meeting out with a couple of things first. This is my first time serving you as Toastmaster of the day, but as you've heard me say in the past, I get by with help from my friends, all you guys on here. This is also the first meeting in the month of April. And though April Fool's Day has already passed, April is also known as the Humor Months, National Humor Months. Our theme for today is bring humor and laughter into our lives. As an April Fool's joke, I almost sent out an email last Thursday to everybody with the title, "This meeting has been canceled." But I was afraid I'd be the only one in this meeting to show up, so I didn't send it at the end. Humor and laughter can relieve debilitating stress and burnout. It helps recharge our bodies. The more we're able to laugh at ourselves, the more we're able to share those moments with friends and families. Laughter is known best as one of our best medicines. Now, before we continue, let me pass the mic over back to Mr. President, Toastmaster Shastri Stewart, for our invocation.
All right, yes. So I wanted to share this quote from Sadhguru. I've been reading his book, and this guy has fundamentally just changed my mindset. So I wanted to share the wealth of knowledge that I'm getting from him with the club. And he said, when you do not know what to choose, show total involvement in everything. Then life will choose, and it is never wrong. Sadhguru. So I wanted to share that with the group. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Shastri, you and I have been passing the mic back and forth, it seems. As Toastmaster of the day, I serve as your master of ceremonies. For the benefit of our guests and new members, a traditional Toastmaster meeting has 3 sections: formal speeches, table topics, and evaluations. Toastmaster Sonia Garate, please explain your role as a counter.
Certainly, Toastmaster of the day. Tonight, I will be checking on the time for each part of the meeting. I will operate the timing signal, and timing begins with the first definite verbal or non-verbal communication with the audience. As timer, whoever is speaking or has control of the meeting, please pay attention to my background, especially when you see red, which means that you have a few seconds to wrap up as quickly, professionally, and efficiently as possible. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sonia. Toastmaster Justin Gwynn, please explain your role as grammarian. I'm not sure you're on the call. Are you on?
I'm here.
Hey,
There.
awesome.
Toastmaster of the day. One benefit of Toastmasters, it helps improve the grammar and word use. Being grammarian provides an exercise in expanding listening skills. I have several responsibilities: to introduce new words to members, to comment on the language used during the course of the meeting, and to provide examples of eloquence. Today's word of the day is clandestine, defined as to keep secret or done secretly, especially because illicit. Used in a sentence, we waited until she left to have our clandestine meeting about her surprise birthday party. As I mentioned several weeks ago when I was the grammarian, the other word that I had chosen was ubiquitous. I chose that word and this word because of a fantastic movie I watched where the lead actor used the word transmogrify, which our great Sonia Garate used about a month ago. Shortly after that word was used, I heard it from the lead actor in a fantastic, fantastic movie, and it caused my ears to perk up. Transmogrify, oh wow. And the same actor later in the movie used the word ubiquitous and clandestine in the same sentence. That great actor, none other than, oh gosh, now what's his name? I forgot his name now. I'm ruining the whole thing. Morgan Freeman in the movie Lean On Me. Great movie. Lots of great words in it. Transmogrify, clandestine, ubiquitous. There's probably more. You should all watch the movie. Fantastic movie. I encourage everybody today to use the word clandestine or transmogrify or ubiquitous. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
I had to mute myself. Thank you, Toastmaster Justin. Toastmaster Shay, please explain your role as general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. If one thinks of a club as a project, the club meeting as a project, think of the general evaluator as quality control manager. I will be completing or commenting on the overall flow of today's meeting and giving feedback. Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shay. And Toastmaster Connie Andrews, can you please explain your role as table topic master?
Yes, I can. Toastmaster of the Day, Ray Melendez. So Toastmaster of the Day and our wonderful group of people here. The Topics Master gives members who are not assigned a significant speaking role the opportunity to speak during the meeting. I challenge each member with a subject and they respond with 1 or 2 minute impromptu talk. So do not fear, especially the guests. Please pay attention to the time signals and utilize as much of these 2 minutes as you can. Our timer will demonstrate the timing signals now. Timer.
Yes, so I will show I'm sorry, what is your time? I'm sorry, Connie, you're on mute.
It's 1 to 2 minutes for table topics.
Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, yes. So you see the green at 1 minute, the yellow at 1:30, and the red at 2 minutes. And same thing I'll demonstrate for evaluators and speeches.
Thank you. And back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
And thank you, Toastmaster Connie. I think I got some of the positions roles actually confused. I might have mentioned this incorrectly, but David will be serving as our accountant. I might have said Sonia earlier, I'm not sure. But David, would you please explain your role as our counter?
Sure, thank you. Toastmaster of the Day, the purpose of the act counter is to note any word or sound used as crunch by anyone who will speak during the meeting. Words might be inappropriate interjections. Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster David. The first section of our meeting is the formal speeches, which are prepared speeches based on specific projects and our communication manuals or our Pathways program. This evening, we will have 3 speakers. Toastmaster Shastri Stewart, please provide us with the project information for our first speaker.
Absolutely, Mr. Toastmaster. Yes, I will be evaluating Toastmaster Mark Kessler. The purpose of his project is to clearly define how Toastmasters envisions mentoring. The speech length is 5 to 7 minutes, and his speech topic is the mentor in me, the mentor in you. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shastri. Toastmaster Sonia, please demonstrate the timing signals for this project.
At 5 minutes, you will see the green background. At 6 minutes, you will see the yellow. At 7 minutes, you will see the red. And at 7 minutes and 30 seconds, I will clap off the speaker if needed.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sonia. Mark's project title is The Mentor in Me, the Mentor in You. Tonight, Mark Kessler will take you on a journey into a look at how mentors influence our lives. Mark has been on a journey of self-discovery through laughter and fun, not taking life too seriously, enjoying people, places, and things, and how they have been Mark's mentor through life. All of us give a round of applause to Mr. Mark Kessler, virtual.
Sound check.
Clear.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, Toastmaster of the day, distinguished guests. I would like you to close your eyes for a moment and trust. Believe in the mentor in you. When we have mentors that show up in our lives, they're there to teach us something. They're there for a clandestine reason, to inspire, to help grow, to help influence, and bring you forth so that you may take a step forward to create the success that you desire. Open your eyes, think clearly. When was the last time that someone personal in your life became the mentor that changed your future, that allowed you to think differently than you ever thought before? When I look back at all the people, all the places, all the things, everything is my mentor. Not just people, but when I think back so clearly to my youngest days, I think back to my grandmother, the influence that she inspired me in love, caring, and nurturing. I look at my mother. She brought forth the inspiration of laughter and allowed me to look deep within myself and find those same genes growing inside me and bring forth smiles to the world around me. I look at my sister, my father, how they inspired me. My father gave me skill sets that serve me today and have served me my entire life. Through mechanical beings and understandings, he inspired me also to create, build, and to flourish in my financial ways. I look at my sister. She showed me dedication, commitment to her college degrees and to move forward and create steady sturdiness in her life. I look at the friends and the friendships around me, how they've been brought forth the learnings that bring me to places that allow me to think and how I can inspire myself, because there's so much gratitude in the people that I surround myself with. Mentors can show up in a moment, for a time, for a reason, for a season, for a lifetime. And what they add to our lives is invaluable. And I find gratitude in everything, in every way. When I look outside, I look up at the sky, I see this beautiful land, water, the birds chirping. They bring forth a way of teaching that allows me to appreciate my life and every moment that I have in this world. There's three things that I'm going to go over in order to bring forth the mentoring in our lives. Number one is to always be ready to learn, because every instance, every moment that steps forth before you is your mentor, that brings forth the place and time to you to look at and say, what lesson is there to be learned in this moment for me? We don't look at things as challenges or problems. We get to look at things as, what do I get to learn from this moment, from this time and from this purpose, or from this meeting or from this place and environment that I'm in? That is so important. And I have shown great appreciation for everything that has shown up on my life. A computer, what has it taught me? What have I learned? It's been my mentor for so many years now. I've watched it grow in so many ways and watched myself grow in so many ways because of it. It has influenced my life. Number two, mentoring shows up in different forms. It could be an animal. Our puppy dogs are some of my greatest mentors. They show me compassion. They show me unconditional love. They show me enjoyability that I've never, ever seen before. Because they know how to live. They know how to really, really, really embrace life. And they give that back to me all the time. And I am so grateful for that. Being willing to laugh at life and to enjoy the journey. Spending this time with you right now, you are all my mentors. You are all teaching me something all the time. Especially you, Shastri. When I grew up, I want to be just like you. The man is dedicated. He shows up. He knows how to lift you up. He knows how to push you in order to be a better you. He does it every day. He's a mentor to many. My wife, she teaches me about health. She teaches me I shouldn't hide my cookies in my trunk. She shows me how to be vulnerable and open. She gives me laughing lines. She is my best audience. And I so appreciate her in my life. She's been my greatest mentor. My children, they've taught me how to lose hair gracefully. And with that, look, I'm a better looking man. I have much to be grateful for my children. So we set our base foundation in those we love the most until we grow into independent thinkers. So I thank you all of my mentors, for everything and everybody in every form and in every space, how you've inspired me and allowed me to grow and be the best version of myself. Thank you, Toastmasters. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mark. Mark, when I was putting together the theme of this meeting, and then I saw that you were going to be speaking, I said, wow, this is going to go hand in hand on there. As always, I ended up listening to you and ended up with a smile. You've done a phenomenal job. Thank you, Mark. Toastmaster Stacy Kessler, please provide us with the project information for our second speaker.
It would be my honor and privilege, Toastmaster of the Day. We get to hear from Miss Julie, I'll tell you Julie's last name, Graves, that's what I thought, Julie Graves. And Julie gets to have her icebreaker tonight. This is the foundation project that is designed so that Julie can introduce you to her and the vulnerability that she has in her life, the storytelling ability that she has. The purpose of this project is for Julie to feel like she doesn't have to be so structured and be in that recovering perfectionist way. She just gets to flow in her femme and just take it on. And we are so excited to have Julie Graves speak to us. Come on, let's clap her on, babies. Let's bring back the Toastmaster to do the introduction.
Thank you, Toastmaster Stacy. Timer, Toastmaster Sonia, for the icebreaker, can you please demonstrate the timing signals and what they are for our icebreakers?
Certainly, Toastmaster of the Day and Julie. You will see a green background at 4 minutes. At 5 minutes, it will be yellow. And at 6 minutes, you will see red, at which point you have 30 seconds to wrap up.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sonia. Julie's project title is Goal-Oriented Busybody. Julie is participating in the Toastmasters Pathway Visionary Communication Learning Experience Building Skills as a strategic communicator and leader with a goal of development skills for sharing information with groups, planning communications, and creating innovative solutions. Julie's mastering fundamentals of pathways by presenting her icebreakers speech titled Goal-Oriented Busybody. Give a round of applause for Julie.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ray, for that introduction. Welcome, Toastmasters and guests. I am so excited to be here this evening to share my first speech with you. Are you familiar with that commercial that has a pink fluffy bunny rabbit in it that's walking around beating boom, boom, boom on that big drum, and he has so much energy? Well, it's the Energizer Bunny, and he just keeps going and going and going. And if you're familiar with that bunny, you already know me, because a lot of my friends, family, and coworkers refer to me as the Energizer Bunny because I'm always busy doing a lot of things, and they label me as a busybody. I'm that person who enjoys multitasking, extending myself to others, taking on additional responsibilities. I have a list of hobbies that I enjoy. I'm always cooking, I'm sewing, I'm in the book club, I'm running around doing stuff for neighbors in the neighborhood. You name it, I'm doing it. At work, I'm the same way. I'm very busy, I'm always engaged, and I thoroughly enjoy it all. My mother always said, that child will be the person that allows no grass to ever grow under her feet. And you know what? She was 100% correct. I wish she was here today to see all the stuff that I've accomplished since I've lost having her in my life. Good evening, Toastmasters. My name is Julie Graves. I recently joined the club to learn how to deliver inspirational speeches, but also to improve upon my impromptu conversations and also to become a better speech writer. The Wellington Toastmasters Club was impressive to me. I went to different clubs, and this one is the most professional and the best run club that I've observed. So my purpose today is to share more information about me to you beyond just why I joined the club so that we can get to know each other better. But just like that Energizer Bunny Rabbit, I do like to keep going and going and going. But first, I have to define what's important to me in my life so that I do not get overwhelmed and just spread myself way too thin. So the way I stay focused and define purpose in my life, I utilize a vision board. And it's something that I actually update on an annual basis. My vision board has 4 distinct areas. I like to focus on my spiritual life. I also focus on family life, physical life, and my professional life. These 4 quadrants are what drives me every day in how I behave, who I engage with, and what I do. I'm going to tell you about those 4 specific areas and then circle back on it towards the end. The main priority for me is spiritual life and family life. If you can see my vision board, which actually you can, it's behind me. I didn't even plan on that for tonight. But my vision board, it actually has my family life and my spiritual life are very important to me. It has pictures and prayers and information and goals regarding my church community. Also, it talks about vacations that I want to go on with my family. It has the highlights of a family reunion that we hope to have this summer. And it's the key focal point of my vision board. It's so important to me that I stay engaged in these specific areas of my life and to stay on track. So when I come into my office and work, I look at it and know what's going on. Engagement is key to me because all areas of my vision board overlap each other. So second, I talked about physical life. Physical life is fitness, diet, mindfulness, sleeping, and also positive relationships. It's important to keep those areas in check as well and make sure that that is a priority. I have that included on the board also. Since I spend at least 40 hours a week at work, my professional development and work is important to me. That's on my vision board. But because I do not want work to get too overpowering for other areas of my life, I engage a mentor and also a sponsor at work to help keep these areas in my life in check. In regard to my professional development, I also set up SMART goals for work, and SMART goals are goals that are they're specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and also time bound. I really have to keep work in check because I've had periods in my life where my work life has just taken over and I was not happy, so I have to keep those in check. One of my really important goals for this year for my professional life is to become a fellow within the American Academy of College Healthcare Executives, and I'm excited about that. So as you can see, like the Energizer Bunny, I do like to keep busy. I do like to stay engaged, but it's important to have purpose and meaning with those goals and strategies that I have in place. So I shared a little bit about me. I hope you know me better now. I enjoyed this process. And now I'll turn it back over to you, Toastmaster Ray. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Julie. When I saw the title, goal oriented, that part itself just caught my attention. And just seeing how you came about and brought in even the Energizer Bunny back then, and the fact that you actually have a vision board, I actually could personally even associate with that. So we'll talk later on more about that. Great job, Julie. Toastmaster Michelle Gonzalez, please provide us with the project information about our third speaker.
Toastmasters of the day. Today is Mariana Hammond's icebreaker. Her pathway is presentation mastery. Her speech length is 4 to 6 minutes, and her speech title is naturally centered. The purpose of this project is for Mariana to introduce herself to the club and to learn basic structure of speech. She would like me to just have honest criticism and be real with her for her evaluation. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Michelle. Mariana's project title is titled Naturally Centered. Mariana will be delivering her icebreaker and allowing you to get to know her. She will share with you why she joined Toastmasters and how she lives in a naturally centered, if I'm pronouncing that right, life. Give a round of applause to Toastmaster Mariana.
Thank you, Toastmasters and guests. I want to start by personally thanking each of you for the warm and inviting experience you gave me when I first attended my meeting. My name is Mariana Hammond. I am a wife, a mother of 4. I have a son, twin daughters, and a chocolate poodle. I am a woman of faith, and I enjoy the company of positive and optimistic people, and people who just enjoy having fun, which really attracted me to this group. I was born and raised in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and relocated to Wellington 11 years ago. Can I be honest with you? I was unenthusiastic about our move to Florida. I was leaving my friends, my family, church, and most importantly, my hairstylist. I cried when I learned that we were moving to Florida. Most people would be excited about leaving the extreme cold of 30 below zero weather, gray skies, gloomy weather, skies that are gray 7 months out of the year. However, I wasn't. Minnesota was home for me. Now, I'm happy to report that it only took 5 years for me to transition to Florida life, and I love it. You couldn't pay me to leave this weather. The reason I joined Toastmasters was to enhance my leadership skills and develop my communication skills in offering feedback that will motivate, inspire, and develop others. I want to be a better coach and leader. I'm looking forward to challenging myself in the role of evaluator. I find that it's effortless to tell someone, good job, you did awesome. It would be rewarding to me to be able to share with someone why I think they're awesome and highlight behaviors that bring out a person's best attributes and share enhancements that will allow others to strive for progress, not perfection. That sounds like the Toastmaster way to me. I also look forward to enhancing my speech presentations and impromptu table topics. Can you guys tell that every time my name is called for table topics, I cringe? I may strive to do speeches every week to avoid the spontaneous Q&A. During my downtime, I enjoy a naturally structured life. It is imperative for me to decompress and leave work at work. I live a naturally centered life by making and enjoying aromatherapy and scented soy candles. I also enjoy gardening, reading, and meditating. I can honestly say that this past year has allowed me the opportunity to, one, slow down, two, tap into and expand on what makes me happy, and three, find ways to restore balance, relax, and holistically transition my mind, body, and soul, and unlock the secrets of my success with others. Would you be willing to take a journey with me and discover my holistic approach to naturally centering my mind, body, and soul? All right, let's go. Helen Keller is quoted as saying that smell is a potent wizard that transports us across thousands of miles and all the years we have lived. Fragrances have often transcended me to places of peace, tranquility, and moments in time that provide warm and relaxing effects and a reprieve from the day-to-day stresses of life. Fragrances of lavender promote calmness and wellness, and it's said to help reduce stress, anxiety, and mild pain. In the healthcare setting, aromatherapy oils are used to create an environment for patients that's a healing environment. Florence Nightingale used essential oils to anoint the foreheads of those wounded during the Crimean War. I personally use lemon oil to relieve headaches, and let me tell you, it works. Aromatherapy is the vehicle that allows me to just shut down from the stresses of day-to-day work, and it transcends me to peace, relaxation, and tranquility. In Ezekiel chapter 47, verse 12, the Holy Bible says, their fruit will be for food and their leaves for healing. My hope is that you too will consider ways to naturally center your mind, body, and soul with aromatherapy. Toastmaster, and thank you for taking this journey with me. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mayana. That's wow. I'm real excited to hear you. It's great to hear even why you joined and how you envision yourself. So great job overall. Toastmaster Sonia, can we get a brief timers report?
Certainly, all three speakers were within time.
Okay, there will be no voting for this piece because we have 2 icebreakers and 1 speech, so all of them are winners. Our second section of our meeting is table topics. This is, lost my script. This is an opportunity for members to develop their extemporaneous speaking skills. Guests are encouraged to participate. Please welcome Toastmaster Connie Andrews as our topics master.
Good evening, Wellington Toastmasters. The topic will be repeated 2 times. It's time to get super present and focused now, as I will be calling on you, Mayana. Just kidding. After I have stated the topic. Table topics will reflect the theme of the meeting. Today, the theme of table topics is bring humor and laughter into our lives. Please use the word of the week as well as any other word that we've used in previous weeks. And the word of the week is clandestine. So here we go, table topics. If happiness was a national currency, what kind of work would make you rich? If happiness was a national currency, what kind of work would make you rich? Latoya, are you willing to participate, Latoya? Okay, we'll go on to the next person I have in mind. Let's go on with Marilyn.
If happiness was currency, what would make me rich? I never thought of myself as a comical person in any way until I got a little bit older and I got involved in writing. One of the last courses that I took when I was working on my bachelor degree was a course in humorous writing. Our final, believe it or not, was to give a 3-minute stand-up routine in the college pub. Now, I was a bit of an older student. I was a single mother. And if you can imagine, I was also a cocktail waitress. There I was in the middle of the stage in my cocktail waitress outfit. And people were laughing, not at me, but with me. If I had the opportunity to bring joy and take people's minds off for just a few moments of the seriousness, or turn those serious things in life into something that we could laugh at, that's how I would spend my time. Table topics master.
Thank you, Marilyn. What are the primary components of a happy life? What are the primary components of a happy life, Mr. Tim Morrell?
– Learning how to unmute. Let's just start with that. Madam Topic Master. What are the primary components? Well, nothing clandestine. Let me just tell you that. They say that the best things in life are free. And I think that's true when it comes to your happiness. First of all, I think that it's one of the few things that you actually have some control over. So what do I mean by that? Well, when you wake up in the morning, you can decide. It doesn't matter really how objectively crappy things might be. You can just decide that morning that you're going to look at your life joyfully. Find your own happiness. It's that simple. It's an attitude. It's an approach. It's something that is totally within your control. And once you understand that, I think that you have an ability to deal with whatever life throws at you, good, bad, indifferent, whatever it might be. So earlier today, we were talking about superpowers, and I was laughing a little bit about a superpower that every parent gets, I believe. And when you look at something like, let's say, a cup of coffee right on the edge of a table, and you have little kids nearby, you have a superpower that you can see the future. You know what is going to happen. And so you take steps to move that coffee out of the way. And this weekend, I had the chance to observe some kids making tie-dye Easter eggs with shaving cream and tin cans and food coloring, tin pie pans. I just sat back. It was better than watching Netflix. I sat back and watched that. I could tune it in, watch this whole show. I knew what was going to happen well before it happened. I sat back, got out of harm's way, in a bunker almost, and just watched as the little boys would take their Easter egg. Nary an Easter egg got colored with tie-dye. Instead, they got smushed. Shaving cream went everywhere. Food coloring. Chaos ensued. Everybody was laughing eventually. Good times. That's how to be happy, Madam Topic Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tim Morrell. How are we doing on time? Do we have time for a few more?
No, I don't think so. We got 7:42, so I believe that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Connie. Our third section of our meeting is evaluations, the gift of instant feedback, a key part of success of the Toastmasters program. Please welcome Toastmaster Shay Greaves as our general evaluator this evening.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. I'd like to call the timer was table topics on time.
Yes, all speakers were within time.
Thank you. The first evaluator, so our evaluations will be 2 to 3 minutes each. First, we'll have evaluating Mark Kessler, Shastri Stewart.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests, dignitaries, especially Mark Kessler. Today, I want to focus on 3 things: body language, organization, and key takeaways. So first off, body language. Mark, I loved your open body posture. Nothing communicates more to the audience better than an open body posture. It really engages everyone. I loved your tone. Usually when you give a different speech, a funny speech, you have a different tone, a funny tone. This time you had a serious, strong tone. I really thought that it matched the theme of your speech. I loved your pacing. You weren't speaking quickly. You took your time and you made us understand that, hey, what I'm saying is very important, so listen carefully. I loved the way you used that technique. I loved your hand gestures as well. You pointed to the camera. I want to be just like Shashi when I grow up. That was very powerful. I loved how you use your hand like this and like that. Awesome hand gestures. Also, when you said open and flourish, you mimic what you were saying with your hand gesture, which is a good, clever way of really engaging the audience even more. Second, organization. Absolutely, your organization was superb. You had a beginning, you had a body, and you had a conclusion. You even had points. You gave us 1, always be ready to learn, and 2, mentoring flows in different forms. I didn't really get the third one, but I did remember 2 points. Now, since this is an evaluation, I'd like to give you some feedback. One, your hand gestures. I said that it was excellent, but it could have been superb if you came back to the stipple like this. You had your hand like this and you would talk and you go back like this. I think this is way more effective, way more confident. Second, delivery. You used stories, but the way you told the story was you spoke about your mom, you spoke about your sister. You didn't really engage us in the storytelling per se. So keep us hanging, get us interested. Lastly, what did we learn? We learned that dogs know how to live. We learned to enjoy the journey. We learned to make your wife or encourage your wife to give you laughing lines. We learned to lose hair gracefully. And most importantly, we learned that you are becoming a masterful speaker. Thank you, Mark, for an exquisite speech. Madam General Evaluator.
Did he leave?
Thank you, Shastri, for delivering such a beautiful evaluation. I loved so many things that you did in just that one speech. I know it was encouraging for all of us to hear, as well as hopefully the speaker himself. So thank you again, Shastri. Now calling to the main view, evaluating Julie Graves. I will have Stacy Kessler.
There is nothing clandestine about the way that Julie exemplified her speaking skill set and how she communicated with the audience this evening. Fellow Toastmasters, dignitary, and Julie, your icebreaker speech introduced us to the vulnerable side of Julie. How you were able to take all of your points and the key aspects of your life and bring it forward to us coming from the place of I. I have the honor and privilege to be Julie's mentor on this Toastmasters journey. And Julie did ask that one of the key elements that she's looking to work on is to come from a place of I and be vulnerable and be more conversational versus script worthy. You nailed it this evening, Julie. Your script was slashed out and you brought forth the real you, and you articulated yourself clear and concise. The Energizer Bunny gave us a great inclination of who and how you are represented in this world. Great opening. I loved how you shared who you are so that we got to know who you are. You shared about your vision board and you brought out the 4 quadrants, the spiritual, family, physical, and business life, and shared with us what on that vision board were your top 2 quadrants, which again showed us the loving, kind woman that you are in the aspect of family and your spirituality. Your voice, the clarity that you spoke, the vocal variety that you gave us, I feel like that is the area I would love to see you bring forth the personality of who you are. Using your tools of the tonality when you speak certain words, begin to feel into those words. Begin to use speed in some areas and maybe slow down in some areas and connect with your breath. I couldn't see eye contact wise, but that is typically an important, when I look, I'm not exactly looking into the camera. When I'm doing this, I'm looking at each one of you. As on this Zoom platform, I'd love to see the faces of how everybody is responding. And it seemed to me that the audience was responding well. They smiled during the times that you were bringing forth great laughter to us, and they were serious more or less when you were articulating yourself and sharing who you are and what you represent. The gestures, your hand gestures, the physical gestures, possibly adding a little more of that into place, feeling into the words by using your hand gestures. Your comfort level tonight, it felt like you were completely rest assured with this audience, super comfortable, and the interest that the audience had in you this evening was excellent. Great job. Thank you.
Thank you, Stacy Kessler. I'd like to now call on Toastmaster Michelle Gonzalez, evaluating Mayana Hammond.
Mayana, Toastmasters of the day. Can you just read me a story? I want to go to sleep. It was so endearing with your voice. Your voice transcended and transmogrified speech to smell. I smell every single thing that you spoke about. Honestly, it was a very endearing speech. I think I know you because we connect on the smell. I love smells, and I'm going to touch base with you with that. I encourage everybody. I love the way that you gave a call to action. You ask us, come with you, come on this journey of smell, sorry. Your speech was very effective in getting us to know you. I loved how you spoke about where you were born. Not often that we hear, where people were born, and how you really liked where you were living, which is totally opposite to Julie. Remember, she said she did not like living in below 0 degrees, and we are happy that you took Toastmaster on. I loved how you framed your initial introduction, as I said. Your smile and facial expressions really put us at ease, and it embodied naturally centered. You are naturally centered. You were in the center of the screen. All your thoughts were centered, and you really came through on that. It seemed so effortless to you and your other comrade, Julie. You guys are already good speakers, but I want to challenge you today not to be afraid of table topics. You need, as you said, to be more willing to go to even a 5 to 7 speech, which I am very afraid of, and I will take on table topics anytime. So I challenge you today to really look at why you might have that fear of table topics. Is it words? Is it the fact that you feel that you would not know what to say? Because none of us do. So what I've learned from your speech is that you want to transcend that fear. So you need us to help you. And your mentor is the very one that will help you. You were able to calm us with your potions and remedies. And your smile and cadence of speech was on point. All around, it was a great icebreaker. Please bring some of your potions to me. And I'm sure we got to know much, much more about you. Thank you so much. It was my privilege to evaluate you. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Michelle Gonzalez, for evaluating. Now I'd like to call on our grammarians report.
Yes, General Evaluator. The word of the day was used correctly today twice. At least that's what I heard, because I did drop off at some points. I had some Wi-Fi problems, but I did hear the use of the word twice used correctly today. I did hear the following notable phrases. I want to be like Shastri when I grow up. That was a good one. What can I learn from this moment? I can certainly relate with that. I did like the use of the word smart, specific, measurable, actionable, relevant, and time-bound. Those are good goals to keep, smart goals. You couldn't pay me to leave this weather. Did like that one as well. In terms of the grammatical errors, again, heard a couple use of singular versus plural again, and present and past tense. I think that we just need to watch the use of those verbs. That concludes my grammarian report. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, grammarian. And now I'd like to call on for our odd counters report.
General Evaluator, the total number of filler used by the club today is 19. The most filler used by a member was 6. The most commonly used filler word today was actually the filler word was a double start, like I just did. It was used 5 times. The following Toastmaster did not use any filler or double start. We have several. We have Justin, Mark, Connie, Mayana, and Marilyn and Shastri. That concludes the Act Hunter report, General Evaluator.
Thank you, David. I'd like to get a check on our timers report for evaluations.
Yes, all evaluations were just in the nick of time.
Thank you. So now jumping into the heart of the meeting, I get to report and give you feedback on our evaluations and functionary rules, as well as the overall quality of the meeting. First, I'd like to say that our evaluators did a good job in examining the mechanics versus just focusing on the overall quality, but also talking on things such as body language, pacing, tone, organization. I think those are things that help give feedback so that you can actually build and improve as a speaker and improve on your audience experience of listening. I'd like to also highlight Shastri and Stacy, as well as Michelle, for doing a very good job at highlighting details and covering the very essence of the speech itself. I love how, Michelle, you used your clever you smelled her message. That was beautiful because it was also a play on the actual theme of her speech. Stacy, I loved how your personality is well reflected in your feedback, but you do focus it well on your speaker. So I like that it's not just delivery, but we get to also feel a piece of you when you're delivering to whoever you're speaking to. Shastri, I like how you concluded with highlighting components of where he is and where he's going and the growth that you've seen. I thank you for our functionary roles, such as our timer. You did a very good job of paying attention and giving us cues, as well as announcing other transitions. Our Toastmaster today did a very good job of bringing everyone in and transitioning through the meeting. I would just encourage you that for our table topics, you can allow the intro to be delivered before table topics begins. You don't need to call them in the beginning of the meeting just to save time, because a lot of things are repeated. I would also say that the agenda is your right-hand man, so to speak. So a lot of what you need is being updated because we are all online. So, but you did a good job. And I love also how you were paying attention and you made very good comments behind each speech and to to contribute to the overall flow of the meeting. Some other things I'd like to highlight. I did saw that you dropped off a little bit, Justin. I was searching for you. I was like, where did he go? But you had no control over that. So thank you so much for bringing such awesome vocabulary. I love when we're challenged. I also really enjoyed your story as to why you chose those. I'd also just encourage our speakers that when you fill out the agenda, it can get tricky because when you drop down, there are different paths that are listed and different speeches listed. But you can also go over that with your mentors. But if you click the right speech title, then it supports your evaluator to have the right evaluation for your speech and to also be able to know the purpose and time frame of your speech. So I think one of them, for the most part, you guys did a great job. It's just one of them was a little inaccurate. So I had to support on the back end So just to bring that to your attention, both you and also everyone in general in the meeting. We did not begin on time, but by a minute. So I just would encourage not to wait. If the 6:55 is there, just go ahead and bring us in, start. Because we know what time we begin. Our meeting ends at 8:05. We are still on time right now. We'll see how the 4 minutes goes. And thank you so much again for such a quality meeting. I always look forward to being here and being a part. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shay. I am going to launch our polls for our table topics and evaluator. Ending in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And before we continue, before I pass this off to our President Shastri, I want to give a round of applause for all of our speakers again. Once again, all of them are winners. We had Mark, we had Julie, and we had Mariana speak as well as their icebreakers. So once again, wonderful job, everybody. In first place for table topics, everybody, let's give a round of applause for Marilyn.
Yay.
And in first place for evaluator, give a round of applause for Toastmaster Stacy. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your participation. It's been my pleasure to serve you as Toastmaster of the Day and as a first-timers. Let's welcome back our one and only club president, Toastmaster Shastri Stewart.
All right. Thank you, Ray, for doing such an inspiring job as Toastmaster of the Day. Thank you. You did an awesome job. Give Ray a round of applause, everyone. I wish I had confetti in the background. All right, so we'll move on real quick. It's 8:04. So there are a few things that we want to highlight. Number one is our guest, our one and only guest, LaToya. So I'd like to get your feedback about the meeting tonight. Just a few words. What did you think about our meeting tonight, LaToya?
I was in and out of the meeting. I apologize. But I think it's a great group and I would love to come back.
Awesome. And would love to have you back as well. Next week, we'll have our meeting at the same time, same platform. So hope to see you there. Marilyn?
It was a great meeting. I am a member of a Toastmasters club. I've switched around a little bit just because of job changes. And I am looking for a group that will challenge me a little bit. And this certainly fits the bill. So I'll be asking some other questions.
Awesome. And I like that, like a boss. I like that back there. And Jan, anything to add?
No, as usual, it was a wonderful speech. I listened intently to all three speakers and I gave a private evaluation to them. Really, really wonderful speeches. And the quality of this club is superb, really superb.
Awesome, awesome. And as I had mentioned during our Moments of Truth, we are President's Distinguished Club. So that's quite an achievement. That's the highest achievement or standard for Toastmasters.
How can you not be?
No, it's because of you all right? It's because of you all. But I do want to do something real special tonight. Our VP of Education usually crafts these very, very fabulous commendations for our Toastmaster, and we want to recognize one Toastmaster specifically tonight. So today I have the honor of formally acknowledging one Toastmaster. Michelle has been literally a showstopper since she graced the scene of Wellington Toastmasters in fall 2020. She was our very first member to join virtually and instantly won our hearts with her charisma, humor, and love of learning. Since then, she has completed level 1 of her pathway, presentation mastery, and is currently working on level 2. This equals a total of 4 speeches, 5 as of tonight. She has broadened our horizons by challenging us with such expansive vocabulary. She has also served as support to the club through hosting our online networking sessions, secretary committee member, and filling any agenda role with excellence. Let's give a warm round of applause to our expeditious Toastmaster, Michelle Gonzalez.
Woo! Thank you for your kind words. Thank you.
Raise this.
Yeah, and your energy and the type of person you are can never be duplicated. You're such an authentic person, and I'm glad to have been in your presence, and I'm glad that you're part of Wellington Toastmasters. So thank you so much. All right, next week, Ray, are you still Toastmaster next week?
No.
Did you say hell yeah or yeah?
I don't think so. Not for next week.
Not for next week?
Not for next
No,
week.
okay, so we do need a Toastmaster for next week. So if you've given 3 speeches, you could be a Toastmaster. Actually, you don't need to have given 3 speeches. You could be a Toastmaster. We could teach you.
Can we
Any
nominate
takers?
Can we nominate someone? I
Uh,
nominate Michelle.
I second.
I third.
Do you accept the challenge?
Queen Michelle.
Unmute yourself and give us your answer, please.
I already put her in the role for next week.
Oh my. I signed up for May 1st or something like that.
You could do it. You have a lot of support, Michelle.
With your help, of course.
Yes,
And my
absolutely.
mentor.
We all will be here to help you.
Yes, we'll help you. And last,
One thing.
go ahead. Yeah.
I could do Toastmaster and networking session at the same day.
So next week, I'm still hosting the networking.
Networking, okay.
Yeah. So we'll be there to support you, Michelle. No
We can
worries.
support you the following week too.
Yeah.
And how we can support Michelle is, can everybody make a promise that within the next 48 hours that you're going to sign up for your role for next week, and this will alleviate any kind of stressors for Michelle and make her job happen with ease. Does anybody not align with that? If you don't, raise your hand. Yay. So look how many promises you have. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 15 of us on. Oh, Julie rose her hand. What? Okay, you got 15 promises, girlfriend. That's a way to start your Monday. Happy Monday. Everybody sign up. I'm complete. Love you.
Thank you, Stacy. So awesome. So yes, please go on and sign on. And lastly, I placed our YouTube channel and also our Facebook link in the chat. Please, even our guests, share the page to your family, friends, anyone that it might really help. For our members, I'd encourage you to go on Facebook and our YouTube and subscribe and like our page. Okay, it's in the chat. And it's 8:10. Now we are concluded. Meeting adjourned.